right? Some of these topics are really big and supporting standards complex. Can you show me how you go from standard to message? So let's dive in. I absolutely love sharing about our process for finding the right skills and activities for families, the ones that they're going to love doing and the ones that we know will set families up for success. So in every message set we write, we always start with a what. We ask ourselves, what is a skill that a parent or caregiver can help their child or teen build at home? When we sketch out our curricular sequence for each program, we are super choosy. So we know parents and caregivers are extremely busy. We want to make sure that we are not overwhelming them. And we want to make sure that we are choosing skills that are really foundational. And we want to make sure we are choosing skills that a parent or caregiver is really well positioned to build at home. So we start by digging into the standards and by diving into age-specific child development information. Next, we take those skills through the ringer. We ask a set of guiding questions to make sure the skill is the right match for a busy family. So some of the questions we ask are, do families have everything they need to support this skill? Do they have the background knowledge? And if we suspect some families might not, we ask, can we provide further scaffolding within the message, or do we need to message on a more foundational skill first? So it's key that we build new skills on top of known skills. This way, the supports we send feel good, they feel doable for families, and most importantly, they are strength-based. Now, once we have settled on that all-important what, we look to a why. Why is this skill important? And not to us as educators, but to a family. And we ask this because a huge part of reaching and engaging families is letting them know why that thing is so important. What will they get out of it? What will their child get out of it? How will it make their life even better? And now the next thing we do is in each of our messages, we give families a how. How can a family build this skill? And we have lots of rules for this how. It always has to be linked to a daily moment or routine, and it can only use the items families would typically have right at their fingertips. Additionally, we scaffold with as much support as possible, offering language examples and sometimes even answers. This is critical to creating a strength-based resource because what makes something strength-based is that it gives you that can-do feeling, right? We need parents and caregivers reading that activity and thinking, no problem, I can do that. After a recent quarterly survey, a parent responded to the question, how do parent-powered texts compare to other parenting information you receive? And here's some of the responses we got. Great, short and sweet, and provide very practical tools to try at home. I love these messages. The suggested language to use is super helpful. Oftentimes one is told, encourage participation, but not told the how to do that in real life. What words do I use, when, etc. These messages do all of this well. So let's see how it all comes together. So here is a great standard from kindergarten. It's in rf.k.2.d. Isolate and pronounce the initial, medial vowel, and final sounds phonemes in 3 phoneme, consonant, vowel, consonant, or CVC words that does not include CVCs ending with l, or x. Imagine for a moment how you might try to explain this one to families. Well, here is the message that we created to support it. Fact. Learning to sound out simple words like cat, dog, mat, and run is key in reading. Sounding out short words helps kids read big words later. Tip, on a walk, point out a dog that you see. Can you say the sounds in dog together? D-og. Now try it with cat and pig. Growth. Keep saying the sounds in 3-letter words to build reading skills. Now sound out things you see at home. Try bed, pan, or tub. Let's break this one down. The what and the why can be found right in the fact. Sounding out simple CVC words is a skill that families are well positioned to support at home. Supporting your child's reading skills is a very compelling why, and doing it in a fun way builds an early love of reading as well. And the how? The tip lets families know that you can strengthen this skill while you are taking a walk with your child or hanging out at home. In both the tip and the growth, we supply a few common words for families to use, and we scaffold the skill a little further by visually demonstrating the CVC breakdown in the written message. Let's try another one. We are going to move on to math, and this is a good one from grade 3, 3.nf.a.1. Understand a fraction 1 over b is the quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand a fraction a over b is the quantity formed by a parts of size 1 over b. Phew. Fractions can be challenging. We've actually had people share that just the idea of fractions makes them feel nauseous. We can't have that. So let's listen to the message and break it down. Fact, we use fractions daily, like when we cook. Understanding that fractions are a number that shows a part of a whole helps kids thrive in math and science. Tip, ask your child to be your recipe helper as you cook. Can they read the recipe to you and then measure out ingredients like half a cup of milk? Growth, keep discovering fractions. Now ask your child to help you double a recipe. Say, what's half a cup plus another half a cup? It's 1 cup. So we use the fact to describe the what, working with fractions, and the why. Understanding fractions is key to doing well in math and science, and that's a 2 for 1. It is also a great example of a complex standard that, once dialed back, offers lots of opportunities for parents and caregivers to engage with their child to strengthen their understanding of the concept. Our job is to create an engaging, meaningful moment to build around fractions. The tip and growth detail the how, right in that everyday routine of preparing a meal. This message also highlights the importance of that can-do feeling. So we know from feedback that math can be overwhelming and it can even cause anxiety. So setting up this can-do moment around fractions not only offers an opportunity to practice a key skill and relate a math concept to the real world, but it also gives many parents and caregivers the confidence to continue to engage with math, and that is critical. Here's one from our middle school program, and it hones in on executive functioning skills. So executive function is the group of complex mental processes and cognitive abilities, such as working memory, impulse inhibition, and reasoning, that control the skills such as organizing tasks, remembering details, managing time, and solving problems required for goal-directed behavior. Executive functioning is complex. While most states don't have a standard for executive functioning skills, we know in the world of education that these skills are integral to a child thriving in and out of school. So here's what a message might look like. Fact, in middle school, students are asked to take on more tasks and do them independently. Success starts with managing the time it takes to get it all done. Tip, next time your child has lots to do, help them make a plan. Ask, what do you need to do? How long do you think each thing will take? Write it all down. Growth, check in with your child. Were they able to get all their tasks done? Did it take more or less time than they thought? Talk together about why. There is that fact with the what, getting students to manage their own task and the time it takes to get it all done. And the why, oh, independence and work completion, a compelling reason for most parents and caregivers. So maybe you're a middle school parent or like me or a teacher and have some knowledge and experience that this skill is key and one that requires lots of practice. When we focus in on that tip and growth, we see the how, right in the moment of the child having lots to do, which often means a moment of stress or overwhelm. So we further scaffold by offering check-in questions as well. What I also really love about this message is that it gives parents a concrete strategy to use during a moment of stress. When parents and caregivers have really doable strategies they can pull from, they feel more ready to take on these normal but very real moments of child stress. And we have one more example, and this is from our high school program that focuses on college and career readiness and developing pathway knowledge. So this is from college and career readiness, goals and expectations, pathway knowledge, knowledge of personal interests and skills and related pathways. And here's the message. Fact, chatting with teens about their interest helps them think about what they want to do after high school. Conversations build college and career clarity. Tip, chat with your teen about their interest. What excites them? Making things, cooking, writing. Find out all the reasons why they enjoy these things too. Growth. Look for ways your teen can explore these interests. Encourage them to sign up for classes or clubs at school. Think of the places in your community too, right? There is that fact with the what. Getting teens to think about what they're interested in to support figuring out post-secondary plans. And the why, college and career clarity. Parents and caregivers want their teens to feel ready and good about what comes next after high school. When we focus in on that tip and growth, we see the how, conversations about interest and encouragement to pursue these interests. I am also a parent of a high schooler, and I have to say exactly how to support the college and career piece can really feel overwhelming at times. But knowing that just by having conversations with my high schooler about their interests actually is supporting them in figuring out these all-important next steps, it really does give me that I can do this feeling that we've mentioned this before. So what I also really love about this message is that it gives parents and caregivers a really developmentally responsive way to have this type of next step conversation. So when the things that parents and caregivers say and do are developmentally responsive, it helps teens feel supported in the conversation as well.